in the Quran, Allah hates two types of dealings with your wealth, for example. With your wealth and with your time and with your skills, with your energy, with your body. All these are called resources. Allah hates two types of people who use their resources in two ways. Number one, in something called israaf. And number two, something called tabdhir. Allah says in the Quran, Wallahu la yuhibbul musrifin. Allah does not like the ones who do israf. And Allah says, Innal mubadhirina kanu ikhwana ash-shayateen. The ones who do tabdhir are the brothers and sisters of the devils and demons, meaning they're wicked. What is israf? What is tabdhir? Israf is when you spend your money on things that are allowed and permissible, but you overspend beyond your means. Do you know what that means, beyond your means? It means that your family, for example, has a right to your wealth. If you're a husband, a father, you have the duty in Islam to spend on your family and your children. It's not your wife's duty, or your mother's, for example, or your sister's. In that wealth, you have to manage that a portion of it goes to the people Allah has made you in charge, made you responsible for in caring and protecting. And then you have a right to that wealth for yourself, for your own needs in life. And then you have a right for that wealth to give in sadaqah, in charity, outside of your family and your wealth. Which, by the way, spending on your family and yourself is a form of sadaqah. Did you know that? If your intention is there. And you can invest with it. And you can build with it. And whatever extra, you can use it for entertainment and enjoyment. But if you spend too much, for example, on yourself, to the point when you know your wealth, you're going to take away from spending on your family's needs, then this is called israf. If you spend on your investments, for example, to the point where your family is not going to have a place to live in, then this is israf. So this shows you that everyone, according to their wealth and how much they have, it's relevant. Some people are millionaires and they can spend more. Some people are like you and me, just normal. They can't spend as much as a millionaire. We don't say the millionaire because he or she spent a lot, they're doing israf, because they are not neglecting the rights of their duties. They're balancing, they're managing their wealth. Unless they become like some people who don't know how to manage money and they just spend it on everything and anything as an addiction. This is called israf. So to spend beyond your means in a way that those who are entitled to a portion of your wealth or your resources start to miss out. You've got to balance it. And that's called money management. If I were to go back to my younger self, wallahi, I would get into some course or get someone to train me how to manage my money, how to manage my resources, and how to invest. This is a skill that every Muslim should learn. Because throughout the Quran, it talks about money and management. Wealth is a trust, for example, and a blessing. Did you know there's one page, one whole page, from top to bottom, 14 lines, that is only one ayah, one verse in the Quran, that's a one page. Have you seen that verse? In Surah Al-Baqarah. It's in the last few pages before the end of Surah Al-Baqarah. One whole ayah, from top to bottom. You know what it talks about? All about money and resources. How to manage your wealth. In that page, it talks about borrowing and lending, entering into contracts, and that if you borrow or you lend someone, you must write it down and get two witnesses to witness to this deal. Which tells us that the Quran tells us to deal with money. Borrow and lend, not a problem. But do it in the way that is right. What is right? According to what Allah said is right. Then there is the second word, which I told you, it's called tabdhir. Tabdhir is a bit different to israf, overspending beyond your means. Tabdhir is to spend within your means, but on forbidden things. Things that Allah has forbidden, such as to spend my money on alcohol. to drink, on wine to drink, on haram foods, on haram things and items and services, spending our wealth and our resources on clearly forbidden things is called tabdhir. Now you understand the difference between the two terms, and both of them means wasting in English. So don't waste your wealth and resources.